Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of September 21st through the 27th. And during that time, we'll have a new moon, and that happens on the 22nd. And new moon is a really good time for a fresh start, new beginnings, good time to just start any new projects or make new decisions, that sort of thing. We then move into the waxing crescent, which is a time of heightened senses and a time to just really execute those things that we've just started, make plans, make adjustments, that sort of thing, and just live up to those goals that we've set for ourselves. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Gemini. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading: the answers you need are coming. All right, Gemini, let's see what you guys have going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button down there. It's super easy for you to do, and it really does help my channel. So remember that you do need to be signed into Google or YouTube to subscribe to channels. But if you would do that for me right now, I would really, really appreciate that. So I'll wait for you as I'm shuffling. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thanks for coming back week after week. I see you and I appreciate you, and it just thank you so much. So just wanted to get that in. And without further ado, we'll get into this reading. So Gemini, for September 21st through the 27th. The answers you need are coming. Let's see what the Gemini Collective has going on this week. All right, your present energy is the Hermit card. So if the answers you need are coming, it looks to be because you are definitely in hermit mode and being, quiet. You're going within to, to seek some answers on something. I always like to point out that the hermit is really just lighting the next step. The hermit doesn't light up, um, weeks and months in advance, but maybe the next day to maybe the next week or so. But you're going in there and seeking out that inner wisdom that you already possess. Usually we already know the answers to things. We just need to quiet our own mind and go in and let those answers come, bubble up to the surface. So your current situation is that you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied. And this could be with anything really. I mean, this is a card of cups. So it could be that you're feeling a little bit emotionally dissatisfied. You're just kind of, just kind of not real excited about life, and that could be why you're seeking that inner wisdom, to maybe just answer that question. Of course, the answers you need are coming. That's what the card there says. So let's keep going. At the root of the situation is the Hierophant card. So it could be that that you've been on some sort of quest to seek some sort of guidance, or something has come across and that's making you go inward, right? This could be a book you read. It could be why you're listening to tarot readings. It could be a sermon that you heard, or just something that went on in the world that's really kind of making you rethink, where you are in the spiritual realm. And this seems to be already a theme that I'm seeing this week, that it's kind of a deep week for everybody, that there's some spiritual stuff going on. Not shocked by that, but you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied and maybe seeking something like that out. In your recent past is the Death card. So there could have been some sort of ending. This could have been an actual death that made you just kind of start rethinking some things in your own life, or it's just some sort of ending. This could be the end of a friendship, the end of a relationship, the end of something, and it's just causing you to feel not that excited. But it's also making you look within and look without, and look into maybe how your spiritual life, um, how you manage yourself there, and what your ways of thinking, and you could just be learning some new things. So what is on your mind this week is the King of Wands. So it could be, so now are you distracting yourself with, we've got three major arcana cards here. Anytime I see three or four of those, and I wouldn't be surprised if more come in. This is kind of a major transformative week for you. Not it's not something that's just a nothing week for you. You're just thinking some pretty deep thoughts this week. Anyway, so on your mind is this King of Wands. And King of Wands is about knowledge. And in this case, knowledge of something that you're passionate about. So are you kind of questioning something there? Or are you using knowledge like that to just kind of distract yourself from these other bigger things that seem to be going on? Um, because it is hard to go within. It's hard to be that hermit all the time and to go within. So you may be looking for some sort of distraction, which is fine. I understand that if you need to distract yourself a little bit from those big, deeper thoughts, but let's not completely do it so much so that you're not really facing those things also, right? Like use that distraction, get away, take a breath, but then go back to looking for those answers also. What is just ahead of you this week is, yeah, a little rest and meditation. I'm never surprised to see that with the hermit card. To me, those cards just go hand in hand, that you're really just taking the time to go within, looking for some sorts of answers. So in your advice position here is the King of Cups. So lots of kings coming about. We've now got the King of Wands and the King of Cups, and the advice is to kind of maintain your emotional stability throughout all of this, throughout this ending, throughout these realizations that you're having, these things that you're learning. This rest and meditation, are you distracting yourself a little bit, but you're doing so also with knowledge of your emotional self, but also the people around you. When it comes to the royalty cards, that you're kind of the person that's looking at the bigger picture. It's not just about you and your emotional stability or your knowledge about this passion that you have, but also the other people around you. What is beyond your control this week is the Three of Cups. So, beyond your control is a little bit of celebration. So, you may get to a point where you do feel settled and you do feel like you've gotten an answer. If the answers you need are coming there by the end of the week, you could be kind of a happier, lighter mode because you've reached a conclusion. So keep that in mind also and enjoy that time. Don't Not everything has to be so heavy when we're going through, but if you are dealing with a death or an ending, it can feel like that. So of course there's a point in which you do need to lighten up and not be just so in your head all of the time and really thinking these really deep thoughts, but lighten up a little bit. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the Emperor with it's just so interesting to see all of these cards that are, these kings and the emperor. This is just control. What is it that you're trying to maintain such a tight control over? And, this hermit card is asking you to go within. I just really feel you hanging on to something there. There's a few other cards that to me just give off that energy of, it's very masculine energy too, and control. It doesn't mean that you're a man. It just means that's the energy that comes off of. It's very male. It's very dominating, very domineering. So what is it that you're trying to maintain control of here? Very, very interesting. In your outcome position is the Lover's card. So interesting. So is this something in the outcome you're going to bring to your partner? Could be. Could be that, there's some sort of answer and you may just need to open up about it to your partner. This thing that you've been thinking pretty heavy about. Go ahead and express it and open it up. And that could lead to the celebration. It could be, sometimes just opening up to your partner will lighten that load off of you. And that's kind of what they're there for. Let them know what you're going through, open up about it, talk about it. And sometimes that just helps and makes you feel better when you get things off your chest in that way. What is hidden from you this week is the High Priestess. Interesting. So, High Priestess is about mystery. It's about us knowing the answer intuitively. So I feel like you don't really know the answer intuitively. And that could be something that you are seeking out with that hermit and with that rest and meditation, is you're just trying to get to that, intuitive place. You're asking the universe for some sort of answer, and it's just not coming this week. Um Again, the answers you need are coming. It may not be this week. It may be, or maybe you're closer to it by the end of the week, but definitely share with your partner. If you have a romantic partner, share what's going on, lighten that load a little bit. This could also just be, a friend, somebody that you can share with, but lighten that load a little bit, get a little bit off your chest, because it doesn't appear as if these are easy questions for you this week. I'm kind of feeling the weight of this reading. It just feels a little bit heavy, whatever you're going through, but hopefully it'll just lighten up through the week. Again, if it's you're coming from this dark place of a death or an ending, And of course, you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied about that, but it looks like you are seeking out some sort of control, to just maintain, to hang on to control of something there. So, all right, let's see what the Soul Oracle deck has to say for Gemini. Keep your commitments. So through all of this, yeah, you have to kind of just go with the flow. Life goes on. Keep going. Keep up with the things that you are committed to. Um, this too shall pass, right? As you're getting through it. And if you need to lean on your partner, I think it's a good time to do that also. Let's see what Gemini needs to do in the way of self-care. Self-care for Gemini this week. And the card that comes up for you this week is the card called Peace. Just because some people are fueled by drama doesn't mean you have to attend the performance. Make your life a drama-free zone. I love this card. I've seen that one come out a couple times before. So there could be someone causing some sort of drama in this, but it's making you go within and making you really kind of rethink things. So, be drama free, be peaceful. And if you need to address something, then you need to go ahead and do it. So, Gemini, I really hope there was something in this reading that you can take away and use in your life this week. It's kind of, I'm not sure if it resolves. Maybe part of me says yes, part of me says that you may be carrying this into next week too, because it seems to be something that is pretty heavy that you're kind of going within and really thinking about. So keep that in mind. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a message down below and let me know, what it is that you're going through. Maybe you can discuss with the other Geminis. You guys may have things in common that you're going through, and hopefully you do get through the week on a little bit lighter note here, because that celebration looks like it is out of your control. That's just something that's going to happen, and there's nothing you can do about it. So anyway, if you like my reading style, of course, please hit like and subscribe. Excuse me so much. It really helps my channel, and I would appreciate that so much. And Gemini, the most important thing is it'll help you find me next week, where we can come back and see what's going on next week and see if anything has come of this, if this has changed or evolved in any way. So thank you so much, Gemini. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.